Yo, it's Dan Larson. Welcome to the newest Synthesize Sunday episode. In this video I would like to show you how I made this gnarly bass sound. The main bass sounds like this. And before we jump into it, I want to tell you that this kit and all these sounds, what you heard in this little snippet, is from my latest hybrid Neuro pack. You can check it on Loopmaster's site. This is it basically, the artwork and all the stuff. And it is an awesome pack, I believe. Well, the pack itself contains loops, separate loops and song starters, but when I make packs, when I construct these stuff, I like to, make snippets, make little kits like short grooves and song starters, and then I chop off them into loops. So this way I get some pretty nice idea how the pack will sound when I finish that. And of course I will be able to make the demo song a lot faster. So this is the first kit, but you already know that. Oh, this was my favorite. It's so evil and so deep. I love it. Plus, I have song starters. So this is the first song starter. And let me warn you that this last one is very nasty, so get prepared for that. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this little preview of my pack, and if you want to support me, just go ahead and of course if you like this pack and or you liked what you heard, go ahead to Loopmaster's site and purchase the pack. Thanks for supporting me. If you want, of course it is up on you, but right now let's hop into the bass sound, and it is coming from Serum. Now I added a few effects like EQ, reverb, and the rack, which gives basically the metallic tone to the sound. Let me show you. But the preset itself is a little more complicated because I use double FM onto the sound. So the first one is a sort of, sine wave turning into a FMS, a noisy kind of FMS, which is modulated, FM'd by a square wave, and the square wave is modulated or FM'd by a kick transient noise, so by the noise oscillator. And it is on pretty high pitch, on 39%, which is about like 3 octaves, but it gives some very nice tone to the sound. So let me show you that this is with the noise filter modulating oscillator B. So it gives some very decent change to the sound. And without oscillator B, it's modulated by the noise. So this is the main sound, which is a sort of snaily kind of sound, but it is made from scratch. Some nice double FM chain. And after the chain, I use 7 voices of unison on oscillator A and 6 on oscillator B, but a nice filter movement on HN12 is a very essential move to it, because this is what makes the sound, well, talky. Okay, it is talky on itself, but this HN filter gives some more articulation to the sound. After the regular hyper and dimension plugin, this EQ gives some more articulation to the sound. Okay, that's it. The filter 1 and EQ all together makes the sound talky. So I had this sound and I was not satisfied, not 100% satisfied with the sound, the talkiness of that. So I went to the EQ and applied some, peaks moving and modulating the sound, like if it was a Foreman filter. So it's a pretty nice stuff to make your sound a little talkier, if your HP filter doesn't make it talky on itself. So after that I added some muddy, noisy kind of tone to the sound using the all-pace filter, pushed the resonance up to pretty high, but I didn't want to have 100% wet. I want to let the unaffected sound go through, but I definitely wanted to have some, washed out effects to the sound. And some reverb and some compression to make the sound, it's your face. And when I finished that, I had to EQ it. Especially because we are talking about hybrid neuro trap. So, well, not neuro, but only hybrid trap. We don't want anything on the low end really. So I cut out all the lows and applied some very slight EQing on the middle frequencies and the middle high frequencies. I added another instance of reverb to make the sound, clubby-like. A glue compressor, this is not very important, but which is important is this rack, because this is what makes the sound, well, metallic. And this is very simple, 2 instances of choruses with very high feedback values, these guys here. The second instance is just a very slight, very tiny touch to it, which makes the sound a little sweepy. This is why I have only on 0.4%, sorry. You don't necessarily hear the difference, but when I made the sound, I heard it, so but probably if you don't like it, we can delete that. And a grain delay, to make the sound a little longer to the metallic tone. And at the end of the chain, a saturator to, push up the volume and make it a little louder. You have 2 instances of this preset, and the second instance simply is just a copy of the first version to make a different kind of articulation, different kind of tone to it. So the only changes I made is I, changed this shape. It was like this before in the first version, and on the second version I just pulled it back to have a different kind of, vowel to the sound. So this is all basically. It's a very simple sound once you get what it does, but making it was a little trickier, but now you know how to make it. So it's a 2 double FM kind of sound in Serum with some slight effects, third-party Ableton effects. And if you enjoyed this tutorial, go ahead and subscribe, drop a like, drop your comment. I love reading your comments. And you can download this preset, the Serum preset, from the descriptions below, and see you next time, guys. Bye bye.